Honey, you're not gonna believe what happened at Walmart yesterday. I mean, I'm still shaking just thinking about it.
Oh, sweetie, what now? You sound absolutely rattled. Come sit down and tell Mama what's going on.
Well, you know how I've been feeling like something's been off with Kevin and that wife of his, Jessica? Like they've been treating me different since Harold passed last month.
Honey, I've noticed. The way they barely let you see little Emma and Tyler anymore. That's not right, Doris. You raised that boy.
That's exactly what I'm talking about. So yesterday, I'm in the pharmacy section at Walmart, picking up my blood pressure medication, and I hear this voice behind the next aisle over.
Go on.
Doris, it was Jessica, my own daughter-in-law, and she's on the phone, talking in this hushed voice like she doesn't want anyone to hear.
Oh, honey, what was she saying?
I couldn't help but lean in closer, and Margaret, what I heard made my blood run absolutely cold. She was saying things like, yes, we need to speed up the process, and she's becoming too much of a burden.
No, she didn't. Doris, please tell me she wasn't talking about you.
Sweetie, it gets worse. So much worse. I heard her say, clear as day, the nursing home has availability next month. Kevin's mom doesn't know yet.
That little... I'm sorry, Doris, but what kind of person talks about their husband's mother like that? You just lost Harold. You need family support, not to be shipped off somewhere.
Margaret, my legs almost gave out right there between the Tylenol and the vitamins. 43 years I was married to Harold. I raised Kevin from when he was knee-high to a grasshopper. I worked double shifts as a nurse to help pay for his college. And this is how they repay me?
Honey, take a deep breath. Tell me everything you heard, every single word.
Well, I'm standing there frozen, and then Jessica says something that made my heart just stop beating. She goes, once we get her moved out, we can finally renovate her room into the home office Kevin's always wanted.
They're planning to take over your house? The house you and Harold built together?
It's worse than that, Margaret. She kept talking, and I heard her mention something about power of attorney papers and how Kevin's too soft-hearted to handle the business side of things.
Oh, my stars, Doris. This sounds like they're planning something behind your back, something legal.
That's when I realized I needed to hear more. So I pretended to be looking at the reading glasses display, the ones that spin around. And honey, what she said next just about knocked me over.
What? What did she say?
She said, my lawyer friend says once we establish that she's mentally declining, the rest will be easy. We just need more documentation.
Mentally declining? Doris, you're sharp as a tack. You balance your own checkbook, you drive, you volunteer at the church 3 times a week.
I know. But Margaret, that's when it all started making sense. Remember last month when Kevin kept asking me weird questions about what year it was and whether I remembered taking my medicine?
Oh, honey, you thought he was just being caring after your husband's funeral.
Exactly. But now I realize he was testing me, trying to catch me in some kind of confusion. And Jessica, she's been writing things down every time I visit. I thought she was just being organized, but now?
Now you think she's building a case against you. Oh, Doris, this is serious. What else did you overhear?
Well, I'm still pretending to shop for reading glasses, and Jessica starts talking numbers. Big numbers, Margaret.
What kind of numbers?
She mentioned Harold's life insurance policy, the one that made me the beneficiary. She said something about liquidating assets and consolidating finances for efficiency.
Doris, sweetie, that insurance money is yours. Harold worked 37 years at that electric company specifically so you'd be taken care of.
I know, honey, but listen to this. She then said, once Mom's in the facility, Kevin will have financial guardianship and we can make better investment decisions with her money.
Financial guardianship over your own money? Doris, this sounds like elder abuse. This is exactly what they warned us about at that AAPRP meeting last spring.
That's when I remembered something else, Margaret. Last week, Kevin brought me some papers to sign. Said they were just updating emergency contacts and medical information after Harold's death.
Oh, no. Please tell me you didn't sign anything without reading it thoroughly.
I trusted my son. I signed them right there at my kitchen table. the same table where I used to help him with his homework every night. But now I'm wondering what those papers actually said.
Honey, we need to figure out exactly what you signed. Do you have copies?
Kevin said the lawyer would mail me copies, but I haven't received anything yet. And you know what's strange? Every time I bring it up, Kevin changes the subject.
That's a red flag bigger than the state of Texas, sweetie. What else did Jessica say on that phone call?
Oh, Margaret, this is where it gets really calculating. She started talking about the timing, said they needed to implement the plan before I got too comfortable in my grief and started making poor decisions.
Poor decisions? Like what?
Apparently, me wanting to stay in my own house and live independently is a poor decision. Me wanting to spend my own husband's insurance money on my own needs is financially irresponsible.
Doris, you're 72 years old, not 92. You drive better than most people half your age. You cook, you clean, you take care of that beautiful garden Harold loved so much.
I know. But according to Jessica's phone conversation, I'm showing signs of decline because I forgot to turn off the sprinklers one day last week.
One day. Honey, I forgot to turn off my coffee pot yesterday morning. Does that mean I need a nursing home too?
That's exactly what I thought. But Margaret, here's the part that really got to me. Jessica mentioned the grandchildren.
Emma and Tyler? What about them?
She said, the kids are getting too attached to Grandma's house. It'll be easier for everyone if we create some distance before the transition.
Distance? Those children adore you. You're the one who taught Emma to bake cookies. Tyler still asks you to read him bedtime stories every weekend.
I know. And Margaret, that's when I realized this isn't just about money or the house. They're trying to cut me out of my grandchildren's lives completely.
Oh, honey, that's just cruel. Those babies need their grandmother, especially now that Grandpa's gone.
The worst part is Jessica said something about how it's better for the kids to remember Grandma the way she was, not watch her decline.
Decline? What decline? You just organized the entire church bake sale last month. You raised $800 for the youth group.
Right? But apparently, according to Jessica, I'm living in the past and not facing reality about my limitations.
Your limitations? Doris, you walked 5 miles with me at the park just last Tuesday. You beat me at Scrabble 3 games straight last weekend.
I know, but Margaret, here's what really scared me. At the end of the phone call, Jessica said something about having everything in place by Christmas.
Christmas? Honey, that's only 6 weeks away.
Exactly. She said, we'll tell the kids that Grandma moved to a special place where she'll be happier and have friends her own age.
They're planning to lie to those children? Those precious babies are going to think you abandoned them.
Margaret, I started crying right there in the Walmart pharmacy. Mrs. Henderson from church was in line behind me and asked if I was okay. I didn't know what to say.
Oh, sweetie, this is breaking my heart. But honey, you're not powerless here. You overheard their plan, which means you can do something about it.
That's what I've been thinking about all night. I barely slept a wink. But Margaret, I don't even know where to start. They're my family.
They may be family, but family doesn't treat family this way. Now, let's think this through step by step. First, we need to figure out exactly what you signed.
How do we do that? Kevin hasn't returned my calls since yesterday morning.
Honey, you have rights. Those papers you signed, if they were legal documents, copies should be filed somewhere. We need to call that lawyer Kevin mentioned.
But what if I'm wrong? What if I misunderstood what Jessica was saying? What if I'm causing family drama over nothing?
Doris Elizabeth Patterson, you listen to me. You were a registered nurse for 35 years. You took care of other people's families with precision and care. Your mind is as sharp as ever, and your instincts are telling you something's wrong.
You're right. You know what else bothers me? Last month, right after Harold's funeral, Jessica suggested I might be more comfortable with a housekeeper coming in twice a week.
What's wrong with that? Sounds helpful.
That's what I thought too. But now I'm wondering if it was part of their plan to document that I need assistance with daily activities.
Oh, honey, you might be onto something. What else have they been suggesting lately?
Well, Kevin's been insisting on coming with me to my doctor appointments. Said he wants to make sure I'm asking the right questions.
And you thought he was being a caring son.
Right. But what if he's been talking to my doctor, trying to plant ideas about my mental state?
Doris, that's actually possible. Some children do manipulate doctors to support their narratives about their parents' decline.
Doris, what if they've been planning this since before Harold died? What if they were just waiting for the right opportunity?
What makes you think that?
Remember Harold's last few weeks? Jessica was asking all sorts of questions about our finances, our will, the house insurance. I thought she was just trying to help us get organized.
But now you think she was gathering information.
Exactly. And Kevin kept bringing up stories about his friends whose elderly parents had accidents living alone, falls in the shower, or forgetting to turn off the stove, getting confused about medications.
He was scaring you into thinking independent living was dangerous.
Yes. And every time I mentioned wanting to travel, maybe take that cruise Harold and I always planned, Kevin would say things like, "Mom, maybe you should wait until you're feeling more settled."
More settled? You were grieving, not incompetent.
But Margaret, here's the thing that really gets me. Yesterday, after I overheard Jessica's phone call, I went home and really looked at my house with fresh eyes.
What did you see?
Evidence. Little things I hadn't noticed before, like how Kevin always points out if I leave a light on or if there's a dish in the sink. Jessica takes pictures of everything, said she wants to document the memories. But now I wonder, pictures of what exactly? Pictures of me in my garden, cooking in the kitchen, reading to the grandkids? But also pictures of things like my pill organizer, my calendar with doctor appointments, even my grocery lists on the refrigerator.
Oh, honey, she's building a portfolio, probably to show a judge how you manage your daily life.
That's exactly what I'm afraid of. And you know what else? Last weekend, when they came over for Sunday dinner, Jessica asked me to tell her about how Harold and I met.
That seems sweet.
That's what I thought too. But now I'm wondering if she was testing my memory. Like, could I remember details, dates, names? Was I repeating myself or getting confused?
And how did you do?
I remembered everything, perfectly, every detail, every emotion. But Jessica kept asking follow-up questions like she was checking my answers against some invisible scorecard.
Honey, you're starting to see their strategy. They're creating a narrative that you're declining even though you're perfectly capable.
Margaret, I'm scared. What if they've already convinced a judge or a doctor that I'm not competent? What if it's too late?
It's not too late, sweetie, but we need to act fast. Do you have Harold's important papers somewhere safe?
They're in the safe in our bedroom. The will, insurance policies, bank statements, everything.
Good. Kevin and Jessica don't have access to that safe, do they?
Not yet, but Kevin's been asking about it. Said I should give him the combination just in case something happens.
Don't you dare give them that combination until we figure out what's going on. That safe is protecting your independence right now.
You're right. Oh, Margaret, I'm so glad you have me to talk this through with. I was starting to think I was being paranoid.
Honey, your instincts are spot on. Now, tell me more about that phone conversation. Did Jessica mention specific names, lawyers, nursing homes, anything we can investigate?
She mentioned someone named Attorney Patterson, which isn't related to me. That's just a coincidence. And she said something about Sunset Manor having availability.
Sunset Manor. That's the expensive place on the other side of town, isn't it?
Yes, it's beautiful. But Margaret, it costs almost $4,000 a month. How would I afford that on my Social Security?
You wouldn't. That's the point. They'd have to use Harold's life insurance and probably sell your house to cover those costs.
which benefits them directly because Kevin is my only child. Eventually, whatever's left would go to him anyway.
But this way, they get control of your assets now while they're young enough to enjoy them. Honey, this is making me so angry.
I keep trying to give them the benefit of the doubt. Maybe they genuinely think a nursing home would be better for me. Maybe they're worried about my safety.
Doris, if they were genuinely concerned, they would have talked to you directly. They wouldn't be plotting behind your back and lying about your mental state.
You're absolutely right. And you know what else bothers me? Since Harold died, they've been treating me like I'm fragile, like I might break if they discuss anything serious with me.
But you handled Harold's entire funeral arrangement by yourself. You organized the service, chose the flowers, wrote the obituary. You were strong and capable through the whole thing.
I was. I was grief-stricken, but I handled everything because that's what needed to be done. Harold would have been proud of how I managed everything.
He would have been furious about what Kevin and Jessica are planning now.
Oh my goodness, yes! Harold always said Kevin needed to stand up and be a man instead of letting Jessica make all the decisions. But Harold never saw how bad it had gotten.
How long has Jessica been controlling Kevin like this?
It started gradually after they got married 8 years ago. At first, it was just little things. Jessica would suggest that Kevin might want to call us less frequently so we wouldn't worry about them.
Classic isolation technique.
Then it became suggesting that holiday visits should be shorter because the kids needed more routine at home.
Limiting your access to the grandchildren.
Exactly. And whenever Harold or I tried to discuss it with Kevin, Jessica would say we were being overly dramatic or misunderstanding their intentions.
She's been manipulating this situation for years, hasn't she?
I think so. And now that Harold's gone, I don't have him as a buffer anymore. Before, if Jessica got too pushy, Harold would speak up and Kevin would listen to his dad.
But now you're alone, and they see you as vulnerable.
That's exactly right. Margaret, what if I confront them directly? What if I just tell them I overheard the phone call?
Honey, that might backfire. If they know you're onto them, they might accelerate their timeline. Remember, Jessica said they wanted everything in place by Christmas.
So what do I do? Just wait and let them ship me off to Sunset Manor?
Absolutely not. But we need to be strategic. First, we need to understand your legal position. What did Harold's will say about the house and your care?
The will left everything to me with Kevin as the beneficiary after my death. But Harold and I never discussed what should happen if I became unable to care for myself.
Did you and Harold ever sign any advanced directives or healthcare proxies?
We did basic ones through our lawyer about 10 years ago. I think we named Kevin as our healthcare proxy if we couldn't make decisions for ourselves.
That's probably what they're counting on. If they can prove you're not competent to make your own decisions, Kevin could use that healthcare proxy to make decisions about where you live.
Oh, no. We signed those papers thinking we were being responsible parents, not giving them weapons to use against us.
It's okay, honey. Healthcare proxies are supposed to be used to protect you, not control you. The key is proving you are competent to make your own decisions.
How do we prove that?
Well, first, you need an independent medical evaluation, not with your regular doctor, who Kevin's been accompanying you to see.
You think my doctor might be influenced by what Kevin's been saying?
It's possible. Doctors are busy, and if a concerned family member is consistently expressing worries about a patient's mental state, that can influence the doctor's perception.
So I need a fresh pair of medical eyes to evaluate me.
Exactly. Someone who doesn't know Kevin and Jessica, someone who can objectively assess your mental acuity and physical capabilities.
That makes sense. What else?
We need to document your daily activities. Show that you're living independently, managing your finances, maintaining your home, staying socially connected.
I can do that. I keep a pretty detailed calendar anyway.
Good. And Doris, I think you should consider consulting with your own lawyer, not the family lawyer Kevin mentioned, but someone who specializes in elder law and can protect your interests.
That's a good idea. But I don't want Kevin to find out and think I don't trust him.
Honey, right now, Kevin and Jessica are planning to move you into a nursing home without your consent and take control of your finances. Trust is already broken, even if they don't know you know about it yet.
You're right. I need to protect myself first and worry about family feelings later.
Exactly. Now, what about those grandchildren? Emma and Tyler deserve to know what's really happening.
They're so young, Margaret. Emma's only 8 and Tyler's 5. How do I explain that their parents are trying to send Grandma away?
You don't have to explain the adult complexities, but you can let them know that Grandma isn't going anywhere, that you love them, and that you'll always be their grandma.
I like that approach. Keep it simple and reassuring.
And Doris, document your relationship with those children. Take pictures, save their drawings, keep records of your time together. Show that you're an active, loving grandmother.
I have boxes of their artwork and photos from all our adventures together. Emma and I have been working on a scrapbook of our baking sessions.
Perfect. That scrapbook shows ongoing mental engagement, creativity, and a strong relationship with your granddaughter.
You know what, Margaret? I'm starting to feel less scared and more angry.
Good. Anger can motivate action. You have every right to be furious about what they're planning.
I worked my whole life, raised my son, supported my husband, saved money, bought a house, built a life, and now they want to just erase all of that?
Not if we have anything to say about it. Doris, you're going to fight this, and you're going to win.
I am, aren't I? Harold always said I was tougher than I looked.
He was absolutely right. Now, let's make a plan. Tomorrow, you call an elder law attorney. This week, you get an independent medical evaluation. And we start documenting everything.
What about the papers I signed? How do I find out what they actually said?
Your lawyer can help with that. You have a right to copies of any legal documents you've signed.
And what if Kevin and Jessica have already started legal proceedings?
Then we'll fight them in court. But honey, I don't think they have. They're still in the planning phase, trying to build their case. How do you know? Because Jessica was still talking about timelines and getting things in place. If legal proceedings had already started, she would have been talking about court dates and hearings.
That's a good point. So we still have time to get ahead of this.
We do. And Doris, you have advantages they don't know about. You know their plan, you're mentally sharp, and you have people who support you.
People like you. Oh, Margaret, what would I do without you?
You'd figure it out, honey, because you're stronger than you think. But you don't have to do it alone.
You know what I keep thinking about? That phone call Jessica made. She sounded so businesslike, like she was planning a corporate merger, not discussing a human being's life.
That tells you everything you need to know about her motivations, doesn't it?
It does. There was no emotion in her voice when she talked about separating me from the grandchildren. No sadness about putting me in a nursing home. Just efficiency.
Some people see elderly family members as problems to be solved, rather than people to be loved and respected.
But Kevin's my son. I carried him for 9 months, raised him, loved him unconditionally. How did he become someone who could plan something like this?
Honestly, honey, I think Jessica's been working on him for years. Some people are very skilled at manipulating others, especially people who want to avoid conflict.
Kevin always hated confrontation. Even as a child, he'd go along with whatever would keep the peace.
And Jessica probably presents this whole plan as the peaceful solution. No difficult conversations about your independence, no arguments about money, just a clean transition to professional care.
Except it's my life they're planning to rearrange.
Exactly. And that's what we're going to make clear to everyone involved, that this is your life and your choice.
Margaret,
What if they're right about some things? What if I am getting older and might need help eventually?
Sweetie, needing help as you age is natural, but there's a huge difference between accepting help when you need it and being forced into a situation against your will.
What do you mean?
Well, if you ever did need more assistance, there are lots of options. Home health care, adult day programs, moving closer to family, modifying your house for safety. Nursing homes are just one option, and usually the last resort.
But Kevin and Jessica are treating it like the only option.
Because it's the option that gives them the most control and financial benefit. If you stayed in your home with help, you'd still be in charge of your own life and money.
Oh my goodness. You're absolutely right. This isn't about what's best for me at all.
No, honey, it's about what's most convenient and profitable for them.
That's so cold. How do I make peace with the fact that my own son is willing to betray me like this?
That's the hardest part, isn't it? The betrayal of trust by someone you love.
It is. I keep wanting to believe there's some explanation, some way this isn't as bad as it seems.
But honey, even if their intentions were good, which I doubt, they're still planning to make major decisions about your life without consulting you. That's not acceptable, regardless of motivation.
You're right. Respect means including me in decisions about my own future.
Exactly. And Doris, you deserve that respect. You've earned it through decades of being a responsible, caring person.
Thank you for saying that. Sometimes I feel like I'm being dramatic or ungrateful.
You're being appropriately protective of your rights and dignity. There's nothing dramatic about that.
So what's our first step tomorrow?
First, you call an elder law attorney. I can give you the name of the lawyer my cousin used when her son tried something similar.
Your cousin went through this too?
She did. About 3 years ago, her son wanted to sell her house and move her into assisted living so he could use the money to pay off his own mortgage.
What happened?
She fought it and won. She's still in her own home, still independent, and her son learned to respect her decisions.
Really?
So there is hope. Absolutely. The courts take elder rights seriously when family members try to manipulate the system for their own benefit.
That's encouraging. What else should I do tomorrow?
Call your bank and make sure your accounts are secure. If Kevin has been asking about finances, we want to make sure he doesn't have any access he shouldn't have.
Good thinking. Harold and I always kept our accounts separate from the kids' finances.
Smart. And Doris, I think you should consider telling a few more people what's happening, not for gossip, but for support and witnesses.
Who would you suggest?
Maybe Pastor Williams from church? And what about Harold's brother Jim? People who know you well and can vouch for your mental sharpness.
Pastor Williams has known our family for 20 years. He'd be shocked to hear what Kevin and Jessica are planning.
Exactly. And if this ever goes to court, having respected community members testify about your competence would be powerful.
I never thought about this becoming a legal battle, but I guess that's possible.
It might not come to that. Sometimes just knowing that you're prepared to fight is enough to make people back down.
You mean once Kevin and Jessica realize I know about their plan and have legal representation, they might reconsider?
Possibly, especially if they understand that fighting you in court would be expensive and public. Family legal battles can get very messy.
And Jessica seems to care a lot about appearances.
Right. Having their manipulation tactics exposed in court proceedings is probably not part of their plan.
Margaret, I'm starting to feel hopeful for the first time since I overheard that phone call.
Good. You should feel hopeful. You're not hopeless, and you're not alone.
What if Kevin calls and wants to come over this weekend like the family usual?
Act normal. Don't let them know your plan until you've talked to a lawyer and understand your options.
That's going to be hard. Looking at Jessica and pretending I don't know what she's plotting?
I know it will be difficult, but it's strategic. Once they know you're aware of their plan, they might change tactics or move faster.
Okay, I can do that. I'll just focus on spending time with Emma and Tyler.
Exactly. And maybe take some pictures of your time together, just like Jessica's been doing, but for your own documentation.
I like that idea.
Fight fire with fire.
That's the spirit. Now, Doris, before we finish talking, I want you to promise me something.
What's that?
Promise me you won't let them make you doubt yourself. You're intelligent, capable, and you have every right to live your life on your own terms.
I promise. And Margaret, thank you for believing in me and helping me see this clearly.
Honey, that's what friends do. We protect each other and stand up for what's right.
Harold always said I was lucky to have you as a friend.
The feeling's mutual, sweetie. Now, let's get you ready to fight for your independence.
You know what? I'm actually excited about this battle. Kevin and Jessica have no idea what they've awakened.
That's my girl. Harold would be so proud of you right now.
I think he would be. He always said I was stronger than I gave myself credit for.
He was absolutely right. And honey, by the time you're done fighting this, Kevin and Jessica are going to understand that you're not some helpless old lady they can manipulate.
They certainly are. Margaret, I think this conversation just changed everything for me.
It should have. You went from feeling like a victim to becoming a fighter. That's exactly what needed to happen.
Tomorrow, I start taking back control of my own life.
Tomorrow, we start showing them what a strong, independent woman looks like when she's protecting everything she holds dear.
Including my relationship with my grandchildren. They're not taking that away from me.
No, they're not. Emma and Tyler need their grandmother, and you're going to make sure they keep her.
Thank you, Margaret, for everything. I don't know how I would have processed this without you.
You would have figured it out, Doris. You always do. But I'm glad I could help you see your own strength.
Well, Kevin and Jessica are about to discover that this 72-year-old grandmother isn't going down without a fight.
That's exactly right, honey. And I'll be right there fighting alongside you every step of the way.